it's just so important that people really realize their own divinity and take that to heart and be willing to take responsibility. And this is a segue into blame. You know, you've got to let go of blaming people for how your life is. Every single thing that is in your life has been because of a choice of some sort that you've made. Granted, your upbringing and your parents and that sort of thing, I mean, when you're younger, you don't have as much choices as you do when you're an adult. But if you're sitting here watching this and you're an adult, none of that pertains anymore. Your life is about choices. And the sooner you realize that, and the sooner you take 100% responsibility for how your life is, there's no way you can't do the work. You have to see, if you take responsibility, there's a need and an urge to figure out why things happen the way they are. And I think a deeper desire to change it if it's not feeling right. And so it just doesn't help to blame. There's so many people out there who just will not look in the mirror and see everything bad that's happening is because somebody else did something to them. It's this whole victim mentality. And it's not that I don't have compassion for people who are suffering, and again, there's all sorts of different types of suffering that are happening in third world countries and all of that. And it's not like I'm thinking, this isn't about it being a martyr, like, oh, I must deserve it because, I'm just, if everything's my fault, then I guess I'm just that, it's not a martyr thing. It's about really saying, you know what, no, I'm powerful. I can liberate myself. I'm not a victim. I've never been a victim. I have the power to change things, and that is exciting. There's nothing about being a martyr or the whole victim thing. It's an empowering thing to know that you're not a victim, to go, wow, I can really change this. I mean, all I have to do is accept my own divinity, and all I have to do is choose something different in this moment, in this second. I can choose the direction my life is going to go from this second on. And yes, is it going to affect other people? Yes. Is it going to? Because it's going to affect everything around you. And that's where the courage comes in, and that's where people get stuck. They're afraid. They're afraid to choose for their highest good because of that, because of the turmoil it can really cause. And the veil of fear is very thin. People don't understand that. They're so afraid, so afraid, so afraid. And if they would step through, that, call that the dark night of the soul, stepping through that fear. It's terrifying, but you step through and there's light on the other side, and you look back and go, oh my gosh, that thin veil kept me on the other side for so long. I can't believe it. The fear of that veil of fear was so much greater than actually walking through it. I can't believe I was stuck for so long. And it's almost always like that. The fear of fear. It's not that bad. If you embrace it and you're choosing for your highest good, the universe will support you. It will support you through stepping through those fears that you have. And being laser focused on your heart and the love that you are, being laser focused on it, and so much more love will start showing up in your space. You won't believe it. And the kind of connections that you have and the things that you thought weren't possible. As I learn for myself going through this unfolding, and again, it's never ending, it deepens every day for me about just how amazing things can show up. You have this idea of what you think is what's the best thing for you. So usually if I'm doing any kind of prayer work or meditation, and I'm putting in my soil, I'm planting these things in my soil that I would like, and nurturing them, I always tag on, I would like this or better. I would like this or more. Because then I'm not limiting myself to my own small ideas. about what can happen for me. I mean, it's infinite. It's so big. Life can turn on a dime. It can change in a split second, good or bad. Or those are labels too. It could just change. So who knows? We're the ones who deem things as good or bad. Sometimes very bad things end up being, in the long run, the best thing that ever happened to you. So they're all labels. And the more you can really sink in and accept that this is just an experience, that this is all an experience, and try not to label it, try to embrace it and go, wow, I get to feel sad. I get to know what it feels like to feel angry or tired or happy. I mean, these are all just like flavors of the life experience. And when you can sit back, it's hard when you're feeling sad or scared or angry or whatever to embrace that feeling, because it's a very low vibration and it doesn't feel good. And when you're used to vibrating, and you'll vibrate a little bit higher and higher and higher, and as you go along in this process. So when you are feeling bad, it's very noticeable and very tiring and very dense and heavy. But when you become aware and you start developing this kind of relationship with yourself, with your truth, those experiences you just know it's okay. It's okay. And in a way you can kind of be grateful for them, for being able to have, if you didn't have all these different flavors, there'd be nothing to experience. Basically, you know, I think we could all really, if in a split second we all really realized our truth, the love of who we are, just our God self, if we all realized it in the same moment, we'd be ascended. Like, there would be no need for humanity anymore, probably. It would be peace on earth for sure. It certainly would look different. The world would look different. And you know, to know that that's possible, that is possible. It is possible that everybody could at once decide and know who they are. So not likely, but it's possible. And see, we have to plant those seeds. We have to plant those seeds. There has to be some of us who are planting those seeds. It has to be an idea. We have to put it in the soil to grow. And the more of us doing it, the bigger the crop's going to be, and the more powerful and fruitful it's going to be. And so there has to be those of us who are willing to accept that this is a possibility, who are willing to hold this space and to try to be that peace and that love that we want to see. And you know, you get a lot of flack from people saying, well, that's just burying your head in the sand. You're just, you know, there's people out there who are fighting, and you know, God bless them. I respect them, and everybody's doing whatever it is. Everything's in perfect order. I just know, for me, I've made the decision. I know that I need to be holding this space, and I need to try to be being this. And I'm not always. I daily have to choose, and I daily have to commit. And when I'm sad or things aren't going well or I'm fearful, I have to remember, and I have to dig deep. And that's just, it's always going to be like that. But it's less and less. It's easy. It gets easier and easier. And I know that there are many people out there now, especially in this time. We're so blessed to be experiencing this. I think the world is changing, and you know, you talk about the big shift, and you know, the end of the world coming in 2012 and all these different things. There is definitely stuff happening. I think we are so lucky to be alive in this time, to see and to be a part of this change. And I do believe that there's a huge shift, and I think life is going to change. You know, I think there is going to be an end to separation. I think we're moving towards that. 15 years ago, there's no way I could have had this conversation with 99% of the people I knew. There's no way. They would have thought I was a complete kook. I mean, I did, and they thought I was a complete kook. So it was all good. But You know, I was willing to be part of the coupdom bill, so it's all good. But now it's mainstream. You know, here we are talking about this, and so many people get it. So many people understand it, and how beautiful that is. That's so perfect, and we get to be a part of that. We get to be a part of that. And so, you know, I would just encourage people to know that peace and love is possible. Peace and love on this planet and beyond is possible. And the more of us planting those seeds and nurturing that thought and being that kind of love as best we can be is what's going to manifest it externally. And I feel blessed to be a part of it. I absolutely feel blessed to be a part of it, and to be able to share what I know from my heart, not in my head, what I know from my heart. Even sitting here talking now, you know, I get choked up because it's just powerful, and it's almost more than my body can process. And so it, you know, it's just so big and infinite and good, and I love sharing it, and I feel it so deeply, because I know it's the truth, and I know it's the truth about you, and I know it's the truth about everybody. I know at the basic level we are all the same, and there's a lot of love to be shared if people let go and let go of the fear of doing it. So.
Beautiful.
It's I appreciate being able to talk about it. I'm honored that I get to talk about it with you, and it's not very often that I can really go off on a tangent. So thank you for letting me go off on a tangent. But I mean, I could talk for days on this stuff. It's so deep and so meaningful, and I'm passionate about people understanding, not just women, men too, everybody, because really there really is no separation, not even, I mean, the masculine and the feminine is bound in such an integrated way at the finest level. There's no separation there either. And so to value your life, value this ticket to this ride that we all get to have, value it. Don't look back and go, man, I wasted my ticket. You know, I just sat and watched everybody. I sat and watched everybody on the roller coaster and on this, and I was too afraid to go on it. And, you know, go into the park and experience everything you possibly can in the time that you have. It's a limited ticket to this particular experience, you know? It's going to expire at some point. So, you know, get it while the getting's good. And don't worry about what anyone else is thinking. You need to be able to experience life in the way that is right for you. And get out of judgment about how other people are experiencing it. It's none of your business. And it's none of your business what people think about you, or even, you know, it just isn't. So your business is you. Your business is you. And just embracing that beautiful, amazing light and love that you are. And that should be your mission. That should be your focus. That should be your goal. Because if you do that, everything else will lay out perfectly in form for you. It will be so much more effortless. And everything that you need, everything that you want, everything that you desire, if you're coming from that place truly, if you are completely 100% in alignment, which is that's the everyday goal and the infinite unfolding, but it gets easier, and really amazing things come into your life. And It's exciting, and you deserve it. I mean, everybody deserves to feel this, to feel liberated, to feel powerful, to feel love, to feel abundant, to feel gratitude, to feel, everybody deserves, it's their birthright. It's their birthright to know their own perfection.